is a journal entry for Park University, AR115. So starting off, talking about the most important thing for a good piece of artwork. Not really a big art guy. When I was younger, I used to go to art class, and I can remember watching Bob Ross on TV for hours. I think it's kind of cool to reflect back close to 20 years later, talking about, dissecting artwork. So I think the most important thing for me, as I remember while watching Bob Ross, was how he could make that painting live with the materials that he used and the colors and kind of his overall demeanor. But I thought it was very interesting how, he'd use paintbrushes or he'd use putty knives, or he could make scenes live on TV. It'd take, what was the episode, like 30 minutes to an hour, and he'd have this amazing artwork. And I remember taking art classes after school. I was probably 10, 12 years old, but we'd always go over, different techniques each week, but I never got super serious into it. I think it was just more of an after school activity that I got to do. I remember drawing and, doodling as a child, but I never took it super serious. I think I kind of just gave up because to me, the importance, my thing when I look at paintings, I think it's what catches my attention is how real the painting is. So doing like self-portraits or seeing portraits, I think the more real and picture-like it is, that to me is what I think is amazing, is watching, or not really watching, but seeing a painting that's like, wow, that is a painting, not a photograph. To me, I'll never be able to do that. But I think that to me is what really grabs my attention when it comes to paintings. So to kind of get to the second question, so the artwork that caught my attention the most was the artist Vermeer. In those videos we'd watch, there's a couple examples that they used, but his painting looked almost like a photograph, like it was that detailed, that good. I can't remember what the painting was. Should probably figure that out. But it was with the woman sitting at the table, and then the yellow dress. I think it was just what woman or girl sitting or something. But to capture the human anatomy and aspect of it, it's kind of like tattoos. I don't know. I don't really have any tattoos, but I do appreciate having good tattoos. And usually when people get the face structure right and the eyes, that's really what captures it. So it's like to see his painting and picture of a woman that looks very real from a painting, and then you have geometric shapes on the table, so you can kind of compare it like you have a box, and like that box is perfect square. I feel like anyone could draw a box. But the detail with that box sitting next to, a woman that's painted, that's very accurate. That's very, they talked about the proportions and the scaling. You could kind of get a sense of how well that painting comes together. And also, I remember seeing there was two glasses at the back of the table, or I guess it'd be the side of the table. But to paint a clear object, I think, is very cool, because you're using non-clear objects to paint what looks like a clear object, and you have the light reflecting and refracting off of it, and you can see those different angles in the picture. To me, that's the one that caught my eye. I kind of looked up some of his paintings on the internet, and that's amazing. I don't know, like the materials that they had back then, was it 1600s? What did he say? He passed away in 1673. Like, to have those materials and make that artwork, that seriously is amazing. And then I guess I probably kind of answered part B to that question, but just to now to understand that I can't understand how to do that is crazy. Like I like looking at photographs. I think, photography is pretty cool. I don't personally get into it, but I know people that do, and they're, amazing photographs. And they talked about, something as simple as social media. Any picture you see, that's, art, so to speak. I guess it's all in the eye of the beholder. But to kind of diagnose these paintings and really see and understand what would go into making that, even just when they talked about the different aspects of paintings and the balance and the proportioning and the scaling, the lines, like just all that coming together within a 13-minute video already kind of opened up my eyes. So that's pretty interesting. I'm kind of looking forward overall to this class. I kind of, because it's very opinionated, so it's easy in a sense, but it's not, because you have to, I know I'm going to have to kind of dig a little deeper and really feel out, how artwork kind of makes me feel, and then how to actually talk about it. Like that one video, do you even know how to talk about art or go to an art studio? That's another thing, so that'll be interesting. I'm kind of in West Texas, so I'll have to find an art studio and art gallery and go check it out and kind of look at all this. So overall, looking forward to it. First journal entry or post. I have good feelings about this class. I think it's going to be very, very interesting. But already just seeing and reading and kind of getting the very tip of the iceberg of how to diagnose and go through a painting is it's going to be interesting. So, thank you.